It can write an essay. It can solve a math problem. It can even plan your next party, but can it make you dinner? We're talking about AI. It's the AI revolution, and it's changing our day-to-day lives for sure. And now it takes a weight off the home cook. So if you're wondering what to make for dinner, look no further than AI. We're bringing ChatGPT into the kitchen, and we asked the Studio 5 staff to try it out. So we're calling it the ChatGPT Dinner Challenge. Every day this week, we'll pull in a producer to put AI's culinary skills to the test. Studio 5 Food Editor Maddy Tolman accepted the challenge. She's first. You know, it's always the scariest to be first. Good job, Maddy.
It totally is.
Okay, so talk us through what process you took.
So I took a few basic ingredients that I had in my own fridge and pantry from home, and some of them were random leftovers. I input them all into the ChatGPT search bar, and it came up with a full recipe for me. So we are going to try that recipe out and see how AI does.
Well, I can't wait to put it to the test. So we will meet up with Maddy in the kitchen right after the break.
ChatGPT is on dinner duty tonight. I'm gonna pull out a few ingredients I have on hand, and AI is going to tell me what to make. I started with the fridge ingredients. I grabbed a couple of bricks of cream cheese and some chicken. Then out of my produce bowl, I grabbed 2 limes and an avocado. I dug through the pantry next to find a bag of Doritos. Then I input each ingredient into the ChatGPT search bar and anxiously awaited to see what it would come up with. Let's try it out.
I love this because we're just taking it to the next step. Maddy is here joining me in the Studio 5 kitchen to show us her ChatGPT creation, because I did this with I do it with Google all the time, and so we're just kind of leveling up to ChatGPT. And what ingredients, you showed us the ingredients. You also said basic spices, right?
So when I input my ingredients, I also told it I had like a basic array of spices and condiments, and then a basic supply of like baking ingredients, just so it would have an idea of I have other things on hand.
Yes, I'm like, do I have to put in everything in my pantry? Okay, so how quickly, was it immediate?
So fast, like in a matter of 10 seconds, you have the whole recipe with the specific measurements and step-by-step instructions to make your whole dinner.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about these ingredients. You kind of showed us on your video, but you brought them here today.
Yes.
These are all the ingredients that you told it. And let's talk about this Dorito chicken. I mean,
know.
I love Doritos, and I love chicken, so what could be bad?
Doritos, throwing that in there, I kind of was like, okay, well, let's throw it a curveball, see if this AI can handle this weird ingredient mixture. So starting us off here, we are going to grab our cream cheese and dump it in this bowl. It's been full brick.
Okay.
It's been warming up on the counter. And then I'm gonna take a teaspoon of onion powder, mix that in, teaspoon of garlic salt, and then a teaspoon of paprika.
Oh, that's a lot of paprika.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one thing I noticed is you kind of have to check for. Sometimes it'll give you like weird ingredient combinations and weird measurements. Because it is a robot, you want to make sure, and you go through the recipe first, make sure there's not a bunch of mistakes. Just proofread the recipe before you start cooking.
And in that case, could you just say, oh, I don't have that ingredient?
Yeah, totally. And for example, too, like my husband is a picky eater. He doesn't like ginger, cilantro. You can go through and say, okay, make me a recipe that doesn't have these ingredients, if it does give you a recipe with that. So we're mixing these guys up here.
Okay.
And we are going to take our raw chicken.
Yes.
And we're gonna put it in our
Doritos
pan here.
first?
Yes. So I've crunched some Doritos up on the bottom of the pan. We're gonna leave it in there, because that's gonna be like the bottom there.
Okay.
Then we're gonna take, and I found this works really good with like.
And you put this in the pan?
Yes.
Just like this?
Keep that in the pan like that. Then we're going to line those up. You can keep even putting those in. We're gonna take the back of our spoon here and line up. I might put on a glove. There you go, whole breast in there.
So this might take a lot of Doritos if you're going to do it.
Totally, and you can do a bigger pan. I think you could probably get away with a sheet pan with this one too.
Okay.
And then I just found the back of the spoon works best to kind of spread. This is just our cream cheese mixture, and it's gonna get a little bit messy here.
And then obviously you can just put more Doritos on.
Yes, so take this little masher guy here, mash me up some more Dorito crunchers, and we are gonna just sprinkle those on top too to kind of top our chicken off.
and give us the crunch, kind of 360 is what we're looking for.
Okay. And so this recipe it came up with, did it only use the ingredients you said? Was it trying to throw you any curveballs?
No, this one was pretty much exactly what I had on hand. It didn't cause me any trouble. I did, you can press when you search, press the refresh button a few times, and it's gonna come up with a few different variations of the same idea. So sometimes it'll say a teaspoon of paprika. Sometimes it brought up half a teaspoon. And
so
it'll
you're putting that on pretty thick.
Putting that on pretty thick.
And then I'm putting more Doritos.
Sprinkle some Doritos on there.
Okay.
And we'd go through, we do that with the rest of our chicken, and then we're gonna bake it at 375 for 20 minutes. Once that is done there, we grabbed our avocado, our lime, and our honey is all in here. We're gonna mix that up. After it's cooked, we'll go and add some more topping to our finished product here. We're just gonna sprinkle that on.
Did you find that most of the recipes it gave you were pretty simple?
Yes.
Okay.
Super simple. You've got to remember too, AI is a robot.
Sure.
So the recipes aren't going to be super advanced and chefy and give you a whole bunch of steps. The ones that it gave me were very simple, 10 steps or less. Yeah, you can probably play around with the difficulty of the recipe. I'm sure you could tell ChatGPT give me a hard, advanced recipe, but most of them are going to be really simple.
So you didn't dictate, give it to me simple, it just did.
It just did.
Okay, yes. Maddie, I think this looks delicious.
Right.
Our
a win
lunch
for
the
AI.
day. Good job, Maddie.